Okay, here we go. SS, SSDI, SSI. Okay, what's the difference and what's the same between these different types of income? So we have your basic Social Security income, and we have Social Security disability income and supplemental security income. So everyone's seen a Social Security card before. You know what that looks like. There's a handout that we attached to the webinar. This is like the top third maybe of this, so I'll be showing some slides that have part of this handout on, and I urge you to print this out. It's a 2-page handout, and it has some questions on the back and some information on the front. So we're going to be talking about Social Security income. There's 2 types of Social Security income: retirement and survivor income. Social Security disability income, there's disability for the client, and there are also family benefits sometimes for the family of the disabled client. And then there is supplemental security income. This is age-based also, 65 and up, and disability at any age. Okay, Social Security income. These are retirement benefits and survivor benefits. So we're going to talk about whether or not the income is taxable, whether or not to report it as income on the Oregon Health Plan applications, and whether your client can return to work and still get income. Okay, so here we go with Social Security retirement benefits. And as the little illustration says, retirement, because you've given so much of yourself to the company that you don't have anything left we can use. And there's the eaten up pencil. So people can begin drawing Social Security retirement benefits at age 62. About 50% of Americans start drawing their SS retirement benefits at age 62. However, this is considered to be early retirement. Benefits increase about 8% a year, and they increase every month until you turn age 70. So people can leave their retirement benefits in until they age out at 70, at which point they have to take their Social Security retirement benefit. Full retirement age varies. So for example, it's 67 if you were born 1960 or later. I'm old. I was born in 1952, so full retirement age for me is 66. So you'll find people who took it at 65. In the 80s, they bumped up full retirement age for people. And then the benefit amount depends on earnings and credits. So depending how much income your client got during his or her working life, that's going to determine the amount of their Social Security retirement benefits. But there's no asset match to taking this. It doesn't really matter what your assets are. You're going to be able to get your Social Security retirement benefits. Then we have Social Security survivor benefits. And again, the amount of the benefit depends on the average lifetime earnings of the deceased. It's available to surviving spouses, widowed and or divorced, unmarried children under 18 or 19 if still in school full-time. Social Security survivor benefits are available to disabled children of any age and even dependent parents if they're 62 or older. So if you're claiming parents as dependents, they're over 62, they are entitled to Social Security survivor benefits. Is Social Security income taxable? This is a big question. It's kind of complicated, actually. So they're taxable based on something called combined income, which is adjusted gross income, tax-exempt interest income, half of the Social Security benefit. So all of this goes into creating something called combined income. So generally speaking, Social Security benefits are taxable if you file as an individual, single, head of household, or qualifying widower, married filing separately, and live apart from spouse. And combined income is $25,000 or more. See, I said it's complicated. Or you file married jointly and combined income is $32,000 or more. If you file married separately, it's at any combined income. Your benefits are taxable. These are 2016 levels. I haven't checked. I think they're about 2017 is probably going to be the same. So, fortunately, there is an IRS worksheet that's available online if your client really wants to know what percentage of their benefits is going to be taxable. And the report results from this worksheet on the 1040 form in the income section, lines 20A and 20B. Fortunately, you don't really need to do anything with that. You're going to report Social Security, either retirement benefits or survivor benefits, as other income on the OHP application. So the answer is yes. As it says in the screen on the One System and in the paper application, we want you to report both taxable and non-taxable amounts. For example, the entire monthly benefit. So they get a check from Social Security Administration, just put that amount under other income. You can use the worksheet to find out exactly what's taxable and what isn't, but our system will figure it out as well. Can you return to work and still collect Social Security benefits? Again, it's complicated and kind of tricky. You can return to work and still collect Social Security with no restrictions as long as you are at or above full retirement age. So let's say your full retirement age is 66. You can be collecting Social Security benefits. You can go back to work as many hours as you want because you have reached full retirement age. However, if your client starts collecting benefits at age 62 and continues to work, benefits may be reduced depending on the earnings. For example, if you're younger than full retirement age, like 63, the Social Security Administration will deduct $1 in benefits for each $2 earned above the annual limit. And that's about, I want to say that was about $16,000. So if you're making less than that, they won't deduct anything. Okay, so here's some more frequently asked questions. Are benefits based on a worker's earnings? Yes, either the worker herself, her spouse, or her parent. Are benefits based on financial need or a medical condition? No, just earnings history. So this is retirement or survivor benefits. How is Social Security income financed? Benefits are financed by employer and wage contributions, also known as payroll taxes. On your page stub, you'll usually see FICA or sometimes SECA, and that's contribution to Social Security. Does other income or household assets affect benefits? No, you can be a millionaire and still collect your Social Security benefits. There is no asset test. Are we getting questions?
My computer is starting.
Okay.
We are a couple, but I've answered them. There were.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to Social Security disability income. So there's two parts of this. There's disability benefits for the person who is actually disabled, and there are also family benefits sometimes for the family of the disabled worker. We're going to talk about whether the income is taxable, whether we report it as income on an OHP application, and whether you can return to work and still collect SSDI, Social Security Disability Income. All right, benefits are paid to people who can't work because they have a medical condition that's expected to last at least 1 year or result in death. So maybe someone's been given a 4-year prognosis, they would be able to get SSDI. Social Security disability income is not provided to persons with short-term or partial disability. So let's say you're taking short-term disability benefits for an injury or for a surgery and recovery from that. Those persons cannot get SSDI. It has to be basically a permanent disability. Benefits are also based on recent work activities and duration of work, and there are special rules for blind people who need SSDI. So there's also SSDI family benefits. Certain members of a disabled worker's family may also qualify for benefits. And these include a spouse, if the spouse is age 62 or older, a spouse at any age if caring for the worker's child who is younger than 16 or disabled, an unmarried child younger than age 18 or 19 if still in high school, and an unmarried child age 18 or older if the child has a disability that started before age 22. Again, very complicated eligibility rules. That's why I wrote them all down for you. Is Social Security disability income taxable? Again, benefits are taxable based on that combined income, where you take adjusted gross income and add it to tax-exempt interest income and half of the SSDI benefits. And it tells you if they're taxable depending on your filing status. So like many other things on the healthcare application, so the benefits are going to be taxable under those circumstances. You file as an individual and combined income is $25,000 or more. You file married jointly, combined income is $32,000 or more, or you file married separately and live with the spouse at any combined income. Again, there's the IRS worksheet that will calculate taxable and non-taxable SSDI for your client if they're interested in figuring that out. Do we report SSDI as other income on the OHP application? Yes. Again, report both taxable and non-taxable amounts. Just take the entire monthly benefit and slap it down under other income. Can you return to work and still collect SSDI? Again, it's complicated. The beneficiary must report how many hours worked and when work starts or stops. If they have a qualifying disability, she or he is eligible for a trial work period and may receive benefits for up to 9 months. Because remember, this is for supposedly for a permanent or a fatal disability. Beneficiaries should report any special work expenses due to the disability. For example, a van with a wheelchair lift, things like that. Again, this is going to be them and their taxes, but just so you can help people figure out what type of income they're receiving. Okay, here's some more frequently asked questions. Are benefits based on a worker's earnings? Yes. Either the worker herself, her spouse, or her parent. Are they based on a medical condition? Yes. So regular Social Security income is not based on medical condition, but as the name implies, Social Security disability income is. And it's determined based on a medical condition, how it limits the worker's activities, medical test results, and treatment. And all of this, this permanent disability is going to be determined by the Social Security Administration when people apply for SSDI. How is it financed? Same way regular Social Security is. We all, our employers and we ourselves contribute via our wages, payroll taxes, again, FICA or SECA. Does other income affect benefits? Maybe. If the worker is receiving workers' compensation or a government pension, benefits might be affected. So it's not necessarily an asset test, but it might hinge on whether they're getting some other type of compensation. Okay, supplemental security income. This is the third type of income. So this one's even more complicated. Monthly benefits are based on age, income, and/or disability. So all of this eligibility has to be determined on various requirements. So, you know, Social Security and Social Security disability income, a lot of those monthly benefits are dependent on what people have earned over their working life. These are determined a different way. SSI is also paid to blind or disabled children. So it's not, most of our clients that we see on SSI are over 65, but it's also available to children. Is the income taxable? We're going to look at that. We're going to look whether we should report it as income on the OHP application, and whether you can return to work and still collect SSI. So, monthly benefits to people with limited income and resources who are disabled, blind, or over 65. That's who gets SSI. So sometimes SSI goes to people who are not disabled at all. They just have extremely low income. So again, as the little sign says, not every disability is visible, and whether or not supplemental security benefits are being collected by your client doesn't hinge on them being disabled. It might be because they're just so low income. Again, monthly benefits go to blind or disabled children. In Oregon and in most states, SSI beneficiaries are automatically eligible for Medicaid. So these are people that we call dual eligible. So they may be getting Medicare as well, but their income levels put them eligible for Medicaid as well. Social Security income beneficiaries may also be eligible for regular Social Security benefits and food stamps or SNAP. For age 18 and up, the same medical standards for disability apply for SSI as SSDI. So again, this is something that the client has to apply for through the Social Security Administration, and they're going to use the same medical standards for disability as SSDI. Do we report SSI as other income on the OHP application? Here's a big no. Supplemental security income is not taxable, never, no way. But again, the tricky part sometimes is making sure that your client is getting SSI and not SSDI. So, you know, these are not terms that are intuitively known by the general population. So try to help them figure it out if they're not sure. However, there's another question on the OHP application that says, is this person eligible for or receiving supplemental security income? And that's located on the details of you and your household screen. We need to answer this, and if they are, it will usually result in a referral to APD, Aging and People with Disabilities. Can you return to work and still collect SSI benefits? Maybe. It depends on countable income and resources. SSI doesn't count the first $65 a month earned from working, or half of the amount over 65, or wages used to pay for items or services used to help the worker, such as a wheelchair, or transportation to and from work for a blind beneficiary. So you take all that and you figure out what is countable income. Are benefits based on a worker's earnings? No. In this case, benefits are based on age and/or disability. However, they are limited based on other income and/or resources or assets. Are they based on a medical condition? Sometimes, but people who are over 65 and who have very low income and few assets may also qualify. So not necessarily based on disability. How is this financed? Unlike the other two types of Social Security, which are financed by contributions from employers and workers, SSI benefits are financed by general funds from the U.S. Treasury, not payroll taxes. Does other income affect benefits? Yes. In general, income is limited to $735 per month for an individual and $1,103 per month for a couple in 2017. So as you can see, in order to be eligible for supplemental security income, your other income has to be very, very low. Okay, now here's another good question. What type of health coverage is available to people with these benefits? So if you are receiving Social Security, good old Social Security, either retirement or survivor benefits, you can get Medicare at age 65. So Social Security full retirement age is going to go higher the younger you are. So, but everyone can get Medicare at age 65. If you are younger than 65 and getting Social Security, you need to either have the Oregon Health Plan or a qualified health plan through age 64. You can't have both a marketplace plan and Medicare. So basically, marketplace plans, qualified health plans, federal marketplace, Affordable Care Act plans go up through age 64. At age 65, everyone can get Medicare. Also, OHP, Magi-based OHP only goes up through age 64. And so some clients are rather upset when they lose their OHP and have to go on Medicare. But those are the rules. Social Security disability income. People who are getting SSDI can get Medicare, but it's 2 years after SSDI benefits start. So you may be declared permanently disabled. You may be receiving Social Security disability income, but there's a 2-year waiting period for you to get Medicare. So until then, again, you need an OHP or a QHP. And then there's supplemental security income. They can get Medicaid, but they must get OHP Medicaid via DHS APD. And they also may and often are dual eligible for Medicare. So again, rather complicated depending on your age and the type of income you're getting.
Kelly, the only thing.
Okay, let's look at
something. Sorry.
Yes.
There are some circumstances where somebody who is over 65 doesn't qualify for Medicare, and only in that case they are able to buy a marketplace plan.
Correct.
It's rare, but
That's
sometimes it does happen.
Yeah, the threshold for Medicare in terms of your working period is very low. However, I have seen clients that are 75 for whatever reason, through their own working history or that of their spouse, they were never deemed eligible for Medicare Part A. They can still get an extremely low-cost qualified health plan with ginormous tax credits. So sometimes it's even cheaper than Medicare for those folks. And Maria has kindly uploaded what will be the new Medicare card. It no longer will have the Social Security number on it, which is good. So these are going to go out to every Medicare recipient in April. So this is what the new card is going to look like. So again, while full retirement age varies for Social Security benefits, Medicare is available to all U.S. citizens or permanent residents at age 65. People under 65 with certain disabilities, such as ALS or permanent kidney failure, may also qualify for Medicare. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services administers Medicare, but people actually apply for it through the Social Security Administration, just to keep us on our toes and add to the confusion. If someone is drawing early Social Security benefits, for example, age 62 to 64, they need to be covered by the Oregon Health Plan or a qualified health plan. They can't get Medicare until age 65. Okay, SSDI and health coverage. If a person is receiving SSDI, she or he probably has Medicare or is in a 24-month waiting period. Remember, I said they have to wait 2 years. Persons under 65 must wait 2 years after SSDI benefits start to receive Medicare. During the waiting period, a person is often eligible for Medicaid. In Oregon, that's the Oregon Health Plan. And if a person is over income for OHP, she or he can apply for a qualified health plan through the marketplace. SSI and health coverage. Many SSI beneficiaries are considered dual eligible for both Medicare due to their age or disability and Medicaid due to their income. Some people are enrolled in Medicare Parts A and or B and receive full Medicaid benefits. Some receive assistance with Medicare premiums or cost sharing through something called a Medicare Savings Program. And people receiving SSI benefits should apply for the Oregon Health Plan via DHS APD. Where can I learn more? Because I know you're desperate to get more information about all this. The best sources of information for much more detail than is on these slides is the Social Security Administration. And it's really a pretty good website. I mean, you can go there, www.ssa.gov, and it's very accessible and user-friendly, I thought. So the Social Security Administration administers all 3 of these benefit programs. The IRS also has a lot of good information about these types of income. And again, they have that nifty worksheet. They have a frequently asked questions section, and so a lot of good information at the IRS. Okay, it is around 2:35. Do we have some questions? And who's been taking care of questions? Maria?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's been a couple. They might be helpful for other people. Somebody asked why the 2-year wait, and I believe it's a cost-saving measure that the federal government put into place. Since originally Medicare was only for those 65 and older, it gives them a 2-year buffer to to make up for those expenses.
Right. So, if you were on SSDI, it goes up to 65, at which point you would start getting your regular or up to your full retirement age. That's when you switch over to your regular Social Security income as well as then Medicare.
And then another question.
So it's just
a couple
the
of
rules
them.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're federal rules. Got it. So for clarification, do we not report SSI on the OHP application under the other income types is a question.
Never. So you never do it. And, you don't have to remember that you report SS and SSDI and you don't report SSI. All you have to do is remember to read, because it's laid out there. It says report SS, Social Security, and SSDI. Do not ever report SSI. It's not taxable income.
And then somebody asked about if the slides will be sent out following the webinar. Usually there's a handout section that we can upload into, but I'm not seeing it on my end. I don't know if you're able to see it on your end, Kelly.
I think what we're going to do is we're going to put everything on group site.
Perfect. Okay. Any other questions, guys?
It's a lot of information.
Yes. Great information. And I know I was in Kelly's region, so I was one of the lucky ones that got some of this information beforehand.
And so hopefully this will help you get through this. The Community Partner Outreach Program, our whole team was always getting questions about Social Security versus SSDI versus SSI. So, hopefully just this little handout and the ability to refer back to these slides will help you help your client figure out what kind of income they're getting and whether or not you should report it on the application.
Another question is, where did it go? Oh, will a person automatically be enrolled in Medicare at age 65, or do they need to apply? I would say parts of it you are automatically enrolled, but not all parts. For example, Part D, the prescription, you have to apply for that, or any supplemental or advantage plans, you have to apply for that. I don't know if you have anything else, Kelly.
Here's the difference. If you're already getting Social Security, let's say you started drawing Social Security at age 63. When you turn 65, you'll automatically be enrolled in Part A and B. But if you're going to delay getting your Social Security income, let's say your full Social Security retirement age is 67. So you're going to not draw until you turn 67. But at 65, you're eligible for Medicare. You have to go to Social Security Administration and apply for Medicare individually if you are not already receiving Social Security benefits. And so that's something that not everyone knows, that if you aren't getting Social Security yet, you have to apply for Medicare. And there's actually penalties if you don't apply within a certain amount of time. For example, if you lose, let's say you're working, you're 67, you're getting employer coverage, and you lose that employer coverage, you have to sign up for Medicare. I believe it's within 8 months of losing other MEC, minimum essential coverage. Again, complicated.
Very. I'm glad we have experts like you, lovely. Thank you.
One other thing about leaving your income in, I think it's really one of the better investments around these days, because your Social Security income grows by 8% every year. So if you can hold off, you know, if you have a pension or if you have other income, other family income, and you can leave your Social Security income into, you know, bubble and cook until you're age 70, you're going to get an extra 32%. Say if your retirement age was 66 and you leave it in 4 more years, it's going to be a nice extra chunk of change for you. But again, you know, it's going to be on everyone what their health is, what their family situation is, what their other income is. There's all sorts of variables that go into determining when you're going to start taking your Social Security retirement income.
All right, I'm not seeing any other questions, but thank you. Those are some great questions.
Yes, very good questions. So again, feel free to email community.outreach@dhsoha.state.or.us. And whoever's doing that will send it to me right now. Okay, thank you everyone for attending, and good luck with all this.